I had been living my life on half a heart, half a soul for 6 years. I lost my twins, Adam and Elias, in a moment I never imagined could change my entire world. I used to let them run between the playgrounds while I bought them juice, and I only realized when I turned around they had vanished from right before my eyes. Just a few minutes were enough to steal my childhood and my heart along with them. And since that day, I've lived on a fragile thread of hope and fear intertwined. One ordinary evening, I sat alone in a crowded restaurant after a long day at work, by the window, scrolling through my phone and picking at my food absent-mindedly, when a small, trembling voice spoke. "Excuse me, ma'am, can we have the leftovers?" I looked up and saw two thin children, their clothes torn, but their eyes were just like Adam and Elias's. Same look, same shyness, the same tiny mole beneath the left eye. I felt as if my heart had stopped beating for a moment. I couldn't speak, only managed to say in a trembling voice, "Come, sit, choose whatever you like, I'll pay." They sat silently, their fear evident in their posture and movements. I ordered 2 full meals and chocolate milk, watching them with a heart that swung between shock, fear, and joy all at once. When I asked their names, the older one said Omar and the younger Yusef. But inside me, I screamed, "No, this is Adam and Elias." I quickly sent a message to my brother. "Come to Oasis restaurant immediately. I think I found them." My brother arrived with Detective Lana, and the moment the children saw her badge, their bodies stiffened as if they recognized danger. I hurried to reassure them. "Lana is a friend. She won't hurt you. We just want a warm place, food, and clean clothes, just for one night, okay?" They hesitated. Then the younger whispered, "Just one night." That sentence pierced my heart. I remembered how many nights they had slept without safety. At the care center, the children bathed and drank hot cocoa while we waited for the DNA test results. Time seemed to freeze. When Lana returned with the white envelope and said, "The results, a full match. They are your sons, Sarah," I froze. I couldn't scream. I only reached out to them and asked, in a trembling voice, "May I hold your hands?" The younger placed his hand in mine, warm, real, full of life. I cried. For the first time in 6 years, a raw maternal grief I hadn't felt in so long. But returning home wasn't easy. Yusef was afraid of everything, keeping a small plastic knife and ball under his pillow. Omar moved cautiously around the house, testing doors and windows. I didn't scold them. I simply said, "No one will hurt you again, not even the darkness." One night, the power went out suddenly, freezing their hearts with fear. I lit a candle, sat between them, and held them close. "I'm here. Darkness can't hurt anyone if we're together." Their breaths gradually calmed, and I learned that love alone cannot erase fear. Patience and reassurance are the keys to returning to life. Months passed, and the boys slowly returned to school. I learned how to be a mother after loss, how to restore the life that had vanished from our home and my heart. On the anniversary of the day they disappeared, we planted a sunflower in the garden and buried a small box beneath it. Omar placed the plastic knife inside, Yusef the rubber ball, and I wrote a note, "We will stay together even if all lights go out." We covered the soil, and a gentle breeze brushed our faces as if a message from heaven whispered, "Welcome back." Weeks later, the police arrested the man who had kidnapped them, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment. But true justice lay before me, and the safety of my children, and their return to me, and in my arms where my heart could breathe again. A year later, we returned to the same restaurant where we had met for the first time after the loss. We sat at the same table, Omar ordered a salad instead of a burger and laughed. "We've grown up, huh?" I took out a small white envelope and handed it to them. Inside were 2 silver bracelets engraved with the letters A and E, and on the other side, a single word, home. I said, "This time the bracelets aren't to keep you from getting lost, but to remind you that we found each other again." We stepped outside as snow fell gently, walking together, our hearts united, without fear, without hurry. Our story wasn't over, but it had become a new life, one where I learned that love never truly dies and a mother never loses her children, even when they vanish from her sight. The threads of hope remain taut, connecting her heart to theirs across time, years, and tears. And in the last page of my old diary, I wrote, "I didn't just get my sons back. I found myself again."